So we're at the end now of the batch process application as far as I can take you without giving you proprietary code. So we have a good application, we have all the side menus, we have settings, saving to database, we even have it now running fake jobs on a host that simulates the activity of SolidWorks. So to wrap this up, let's get this built with an installer. We're going to choose VeloPack for this one, and I'll show you why when we get through it. And then after that, we can then move on to a brand new series that's going to be aimed all about doing UI in Avalonia, starting with making a brand new theme that we can maybe make an official one as well. So let's just jump in and wrap this series up. So it's been a long process, but we have this amazing looking app now, which is really custom styled. We have this that we've made realistic with some actual network interface, so we can hook into this host application, which is the one I need to replace with my real application. All these things are settings that will get used, but again, they'll make no sense kind of making dummy versions of these. You're not going to learn much, and you've seen it all before, basically. We have this big page in actions here where we can see tons of different ways of doing actions, maintaining states in the view model, some save model stuff with models you can select here, which ultimately then goes into a process to combine that and show how multiple page view models can work together. We then have this jobs, which is a key part of what shows us what's going on. So if we went to home then, right clicked and loaded in a random job, let's change it to this and click run. We can see we simulate everything actually happening, the UI updating in real time, and this is then going to become the thing that I sell. So I can't really show you guys this part of it, the host. But ultimately, fleshing out much more of this application isn't going to gain as much. This is now a working application ready for me to wrap up. And you've seen a hell of a lot of different UI techniques and overall application building. So let's just jump straight in and get this into now an installer, which is the final step really in application development. So the first question will become, why VeloPack? Well, there's a few options. We have Inno Setup, which is good for simple installs. We have Wix, which is good for enterprise. And then we have VeloPack, which is good for full cross-platform installers and also updating if we want to use their self-updating interface, if you will. So this is what we're going to use. Should be fairly straightforward. We just need to follow the documentation. A few important notes is we're going to ignore code signing for now. It's not an absolute requirement, and it's something we can do later to prevent Windows and Mac from potentially complaining that it's from an unknown source, basically, is what that will do for us. And for the Mac installer, you don't really have to make an installer for Mac as such. So I already have scripts that make basic .app and DMG files that just drag and drop to the apps folder. So for the Mac installer, even though we can use VeloPack, we are ultimately using just a script I've made to generate an app and then a DMG from this. So the first thing we want to do is just install VeloPack. So we'll just copy this command line and we'll take off the version. So we're just going to manually copy this bit for now. And this is just coming from the Getting Started for C# guide, so pretty simple. So in here, we've got the batch process selected here. We can go to terminal, and this is going to install it in the root. So we probably want to cd into the batch process desktop, I'd say, and install it into that. That's my presumption of what we need to do. That's now all installed. It mentions then it needs to be able to bootstrap for obviously the updates and things. So we just need to chuck this at a very early stage in the app, which in this desktop app will be in the app.xaml really. But this is the inner one. We can do it to desktop, sorry. So in programs here, in main, we can chuck it at the start of try at the very beginning. And then if we carry on, it tells you pretty much exactly what to do. VeloPack provides a simple way to check for updates and apply them. So this is the update my app. We're not even going to do the update yet. So you can copy and paste this straight in as a method and you can apply it wherever you like and just literally do that code. So it's whether we just want to copy this in and either put it directly in here, which you probably wouldn't do, or for how simple it is, you could just make a little function after main, say, you could just place it here. And then this is where we store our updates. So this will be our website. So you can see why it's not really relevant at the minute. So I'll just return. And we would self-host these updates, but that's all you have to do to run the update. And then this bootstrapper handles it all. So here you can do update my app, for example, and that will run a check. So you could do a pass like that. And that's your kind of VeloPack bootstrap. The next step is to first deploy. So .NET for a while now has had a way to effectively publish applications. So this is pretty much what you want. The .NET deploy, .NET publish, and then the CS proj, which will be our desktop. Configuration is release, self-contained, and win x64 in our case, and then put it into a publish folder. This will make us a Windows publishable file. So let's go ahead and try that. And all we need to do is replace this with our project name. So we'll copy everything else after that and just type the .NET publish and then project name. So we can use the same terminal here, .NET publish, and then batch process.desktop, then paste the rest. And this should get us, if we open up the folder in here, so open in Finder, and that's failed to publish. So maybe it was the backslash here, it needs to be /. Let's try that again. There we go. Now we have a publish. And there we go. There's the published Windows app. So that's the step we needed to do. Next up is to do a tool to install this. So we need to install this as a global tool. We can still paste it in here to do that. Once you do this once and it's installed, you don't need to do it again. So this is now installed it apparently. You can only add it to the current session by running the following and run that to make it available for the current session. So considering we're running this just once, let's see if it's available in this exact command line. No, it's not. So we've still got to do this basically. So let's just copy this in for once. And now, there we go, we can access the tools. It's telling us we're now also missing version 9, which I don't believe we're using version 9. So being super lazy, I can use my AI tool that I've made that runs all of the agents. So if we wanted to now, say, run a bunch of AI tools, so Codex, Claude, Gemini, Copilot, Cursor, they're all installed and ready, and I can just make new terminals, select which one I want to use, and prompt. This can then do all the work for me, and I've just told it to upgrade this current project to .NET 10 for us. So we'll just leave this running, and just while we wait for that to do, I've just gone ahead and double-clicked this on Parallels to make sure it works. Now, other than the scaling being quite large that we're probably going to have to reduce when we come to run it on Windows, this looks quite ridiculously large, which I'm not sure whether it's a Parallels issue or a Windows issue, so I'll debug that separately. We can see the application works, so that's the first step we wanted to validate. And to be honest, that's not too bad. That's actually quite fine. I just got the resolution set to ridiculously low. It was like 700 pixels wide. So this is just set to a 1080p desktop and it fits on. So I think that's no problem there. So the AI, after getting stuck multiple times due to Avalonia's telemetry constantly killing AI stuff, this is a fairly well-known thing. I've figured out that its quick check says that everything is already .NET 10, which I'm sure it was, so that answers that question. So knowing that, let's ignore the warning we saw and let's go straight to the next step, which is pretty simple. It tells us we just need to run this VeloPack pack command now with a pack directory and a pack ID. So the only thing we need to change from this entire string is the your app ID. We'll use the same terminal here. And I'm just going to call mine batch process 3.angel6 and press enter. And apparently, oh, and then we also need to change that to a / before we forget, because their guides are not actually correct. And this is still telling us we need to install a framework. So why is this? You're missing it or download. Is that because VeloPack's using 9 maybe? You must install that to run the application. So I'm guessing VeloPack is using 9, which is kind of a pain because I don't like to install 9 when I only want to use 10. And giving that question to Codex, it tells us that yes, it's VeloPack that is trying to use it. Our app targets 9, but VeloPack is launching 10, basically. I've told it I don't really want to have to install 9, and is there anything we can do? It's actually gone ahead and done something for us without me saying to do that. And it's upgraded build scripts, VeloPack, and it's even ran everything for us. So it's done something. I don't know what it's done. It went ahead and did it anyway. There's a build scripts in here, which maybe I missed. Maybe this was already in from VeloPack's install. And if I read a bit further, basically it looks like it's actually made just an sh file that then we're executing instead, which I think was strange. And then I saw this right after. All we're ultimately doing is setting .NET roll forward as a environment variable before calling the exact code. So all we need to do is prefix our call with this. This is like a one-time bypass, and it's just made a script for us so that we don't have to keep typing this every time we want to build. So for now, again, we just want to run this once. We should just have to do that. And there we go. That now seems to have started running. Couldn't find the main application executable, the one that runs VeloPack build. If main binary is not named that. So we probably want to name then this to batch process 3.desktop, I believe it's called. Okay, that's literally what it's called, so why can't it find it? So I guess we can use the main.exe to, I don't know, what, type the same name? Seems a bit strange, like why bother trying to do that if you can't find it? Main.exe, and then just type it again, then batch process 3.desktop.exe maybe. Is not a Mac-O executable. And with 2 seconds of AI, it's telling us that we need to add at the end of the executable name, the runtime specifically, and then the channel win for VeloPack to work. To package for OSS, the target RID must be OSS. Actually was Windows. If your real-time intention was for a cross-platform release on Windows, then you should provide an OS directive. So again, AI is slightly wrong here, but apparently we just put the word win at the start then. So I'm guessing channel win, maybe even that runtime's completely wrong. And we just go all the way to the start and just put the word win after VPK maybe. And I suppose this is a little bit of an edge case. We're building Windows. Oh, nice. So its own documentation is wrong. Or is it being explicit with expecting square brackets around the word win, which would be a bit strange. Nope. So we need to now delve into the real documentation. Basically, the documentation is here and it says you can do it, but we've just literally tried this. So it's saying as in do this, but it literally doesn't work. It does say that it's possible, and yet I can't get this to work. There you go. And it is planned but not supported. But that's as in saying it's not supported for Linux. And this is fairly early, a month old. So what issue are we possibly running into here? But running the exact help file, it says, so right here, run OS help. We don't get anything, we just get bundle pack download upload delta. There is no help, there is no OS. It's as if it has documentation that doesn't even match its code base. So let's just try, even though we've installed VeloPack let's try and run an update on the VeloPack we've installed. No, it's already installed, yes we know. So let's try that again, but with pre-release. Let's see if that figures anything new out. I'd presume something's available in pre-release. So it's thinking about it because now it's going to be pulling all the pre-release channels first to see what's available. And it's upgraded quite a bit. So let's try again now with, I think this was the command. I don't know whether it's expecting win explicitly in square brackets. I think it did expect this. No, let's try the one in square brackets. No. So VeloPack is officially not correct in its documentation at all. It clearly doesn't work the same. So my only guess here is that VeloPack probably has cross-compiling, but on Windows to cross-compile to others, maybe? I don't know. But either way, it's not working for us. So we have two options here. We can run this through Parallels, which is probably the quickest. Another one, if you wanted to, for more like direct integrated building, so a CI/CL kind of workflow, is we could run it through GitHub Actions and have the actions build the Windows installer for us, which is probably where I'd take it when it got to release. So for now, I'm just going to spin up Windows Parallels and build it from there. Now, while I just run an update on this Windows machine before we attempt to redo all this and build, if you don't want to mess with all of this crap, then there is something in Avalonia already that can do the Avalonia pack, which is the whole point of that is to make this install process nice and easy. It's a paid for with Avalonia Accelerate, but you get tons of other benefits, and you can just do a single line command to build your installers. So even though VeloPack is meant to be seamless, you can already see how much of a pain it is to get working and integrate into our workflow. So if you don't want to mess with this stuff and you want a bit more seamless integration, just consider doing Avalonia Accelerate. And there we go, finally, after 6 updates in a row, let's open up the app. And let's hopefully be able to compile this now. So this has got the code changes I've pushed, but we still need to do the publishing and plus the VeloPack tool install. Actually, I forgot that one. So if we go to the same place, the desktop, programs, open up a terminal for now, we'll cd into the desktop. And then we can paste in the install tool for VeloPack. That's the first step. And then the .NET publish command, this time with the backslash. Let's see if that works or whether the entire code was wrong in VeloPack's install. No, that seems to be working. So, well, we say that. Let's see if it's actually where it should be. Yep, it's where it should be. So this is also suggesting that this guide is probably written from a Windows machine for the VeloPack developer. So that's probably why I'm betting the cross-platform will work on Windows to Mac, not the other way around. And then the only other step we needed to do was the VeloPack pack. So let's paste that in. And this is the same with just the VeloPack pack and nothing else. Oh, and here we go. So now we've still got the .NET 9 and 10 issue. So we then need to prefix that with the downgrade thing, the roll forward thing rather. And now will this work is the key question. Is not recognized as a name of a command like wow. So it doesn't work on Windows either. I'm guessing that's because we're in PowerShell maybe. So that will be setting the environment like this instead. There we go. Right, are we finally going to work? But you can see the amount of pain with everything. This is why I kind of hate command line stuff. I always say you should really have some UI. Get a tool that does the jobs for you, because as simple as you think it's going to be with command line, it never is. Who wants to be copying and pasting strings, then Googling for what the strings mean, and then having to type things? Like, we've had UI for, what, 40 years, I bet now? If not longer. Just use it. Like, make things with UI. Stop using command line. So, that rant over. It's not code signed, but apparently it's done everything else. Finished. So, what we've got, releases, have we in releases folder, I presume? There's a releases. I don't even like this. We've got an exe setup, not the nicest. I prefer MSI ideally. We've got a portable, and we've got Nougats. Yeah, so the portable is just the app, which we could have done ourselves. It's literally, that's like pointless. The Win setup, no icon, ugly name at the top. Yeah, to be honest, I do not like VeloPack. This is awful. Yeah, that's it. Closes, disappears. And there's now an icon on my desktop that you can see here with just no icon. So yeah, that's a pretty poor experience. No icon in the bottom. Whether that's my fault though, I don't know, but the fact the app's got the icon, yeah, VeloPack, 1 out of 10, to be honest. So it looked like that was going to be amazing. I think that kind of sucks. So either we'll use Avalonia Accelerate to do the packing for us, which is probably the next step. We'll come to that whenever we decide to come back to this. But for now, VeloPack, no, I wouldn't actually recommend it. This was a live test of it while we're doing it, and from research, it was meant to be the best, but that was a pretty painful and awful experience. Like, I didn't do Wix because I always use Wix, and I figured it was a bit more commercial grade and enterprise grade, and VeloPack sounded like a really nice thing, but no, that's a shockingly bad experience. That clearly has not been made by somebody that knows installers. So that's it for that one. We're going to now jump into a brand new series where I'm going to remake an entire Avalonia theme, like properly, not just skinning things. We're going to take the Fluent theme, completely remove it from the application, and we're going to remake themes. This is going to be a really good way for you to learn Avalonia at a very deep level, and the whole point of Avalonia, and the main thing you need to learn specifically to it, is the UI. All of this real-world application stuff is great, and it's good we've covered it, but you're here to learn Avalonia, and all of the real-world stuff is not specific to Avalonia. So I'll see you shortly in the brand new series coming up.